When was the last time you wished you could just start your project? You already had the yarn in hand, you already had your pattern chosen for you, and the hardest thing you had to do was decide whether you wanted to knit it or crochet it. If you answered yes to that, I think I have just the service for you. Stay tuned. Hey there, and welcome back to B.Hooked. I'm your host, Brittany, and I think I have just the service for you if you answered yes to that question a moment ago. I know I was seeking something similar to this, and even as a designer, I found it very therapeutic to be able to just pick up a pattern and a project and just be able to create and not have to feel the pressures of, well, I have to write this down, or I have to make sure that this is pattern tested, and I have to keep everything very consistent and organized. And you know what? At the end of the day, as designers, that's wonderful work. But when we need to relax, sometimes we need to let go of those things. So if you're a designer, you find these struggles to be true in your life as well, I think this is definitely going to help. However, you don't have to be a designer to be able to enjoy this kit that I'm going to review for you today. A lot of the struggles we face as hobby crocheters and hobby knitters is finding the right pattern and the right tutorial, the right product, and putting all of that together. And for some of us, that search kind of fuels our motivation and our passion, but sometimes we dread it and we just need to have something in hand just to get the full therapeutic benefits of knitting and crochet. Now, full disclosure, I am working in a partnership relationship with Annie's to bring this review to you, but it is a very great thing because I have the first three kits that you get when you sign up for this membership. I'm able to give you an inside look at exactly what you're going to receive, so you know whether or not this service is right for you. Now, before we have a look at what's inside these first three kits that you'll receive as you sign on for this membership service, I want to talk about what to expect when you actually receive this and when you sign up for it. I mean, it's better if we know exactly what we're getting before we sign up for it, right? It makes it so much easier to make that decision to say, yes, this is right for me and this is worth spending some money on. Well, in the very basic sense, every single month, you're going to get a project that has been pattern tested by a professional designer and the crew over at Annie's. They're a very talented group of people. So you know that you're going to get a pattern that you can complete. Now, the cool thing about this is you get all of the yarn included within your kit, and you get the full instructions for that project in crochet and knitting. So for those of us who are bi-stitchable, really the hardest thing is going to be deciding whether we want to knit or crochet that project. And for those of us who just crochet or just knit, we don't even have to make that decision. We've just got the instructions, the yarn right there in front of us, and we can just enjoy the craft. One of the cool things that I found about Annie's Hook and Needle Club is that they're not monthly projects. So not everybody's going to get the same project month after month. They're actually predetermined, and it's somewhat of a surprise when you receive it in the mail. And that's one of my favorite things, honestly, about subscription services is I have a general idea of what I'm going to get, but I don't know exactly what I'm going to get. So it's kind of like a kid on Christmas morning opening a present for the first time. I mean, you don't know what's inside, and that's really, really exciting. Now, I mentioned before that I'm working with Annie's very closely to produce this review for you, and they have given me access to the first three kits that you'll receive when you sign up for a new membership. And I want to share those three kits with you just so you can see the diversity in them, but also how easy the instructions are to read and sort of give you an idea of what to expect when you receive your kit. Now, the one thing I do want to really stress here today is that I am not a current member of this subscription service. I'm working closely with Annie's to bring you this review, but I want to make a guarantee to you that part of my service here is to provide you with an objective and professional opinion of this service, so that way you can decide if it's the right kit for you. So the first thing I want to do is give you a close-up look of what to expect when you open your first kit. So let's deep dive into the Sedona Shawl Kit. I was really drawn to this one because of the yarn. You guys know that I am like really known for long, sweeping colorways, roving yarn that has bright and vibrant colors. Well, this speaks to my soul right here. So I'll be honest, I'm having a really hard time putting this yarn down so I can actually look at the rest of what came in the kit. You guys know that I just adore this type of yarn, this roving style with these long colorways. This is a great colorway. It's probably a combination that I wouldn't have thought to put together myself, but it looks really cool. So this is 100% acrylic, 287 yards. As you can see, we have 3 here. So this is all the yarn that we need to create this beautiful shawl, and it's a sport weight, so that's cool. This is a yarn that I've never used before. It's very soft, and I'm really anxious to see how it crochets or it knits up. Okay, so back on track here. We're looking at the pattern now. This is what came in the kit. This is just like a cardboard backing here. So when I open inside, that's when I'm going to have all of the instructions for a crochet version and a knit version. And it's cool because they look very, very similar. As you can see, they're pretty much identical, which is cool because we're mixing different crafts here. I mean, we can choose knit or crochet, and we're going to get pretty much the same outcome no matter which choice we make. Okay, so this is the knit version of the shawl. This is the crochet version of the shawl. So as you can see, they are very close, and everything you need is right here. So that's really handy too. I've been a part of membership services where I have to download the pattern, and that's cool because I have it across devices, but this is really portable. So I just keep this card with me and keep the yarn with me, of course, and I can work on this project anywhere I go. All right, so let's have a look at one of these other kits. So this is the nesting stash baskets. And of course, this is the crochet version here on this side. And I'm assuming we have a knit version as well. So this is what it looks like on the knit version. Again, it's very close. I mean, it's almost identical. So that's the pattern. Again, we got this little booklet, which is great. It demonstrates everything that we need to know. And now the yarn, this is the fun part. So this yarn, it feels very soft. Honestly, through the bag, it looked like it was gonna be some kind of wool blend. So let's see, this is 25% wool, 75% acrylic. Honestly, to me, this feels like acrylic. It's really, really soft. It looks like it's gonna have good stitch definition too. All right, so let's have a look at another one here. This is the Learn a Stitch dishcloth, which I think is a really great idea because we're going to learn stitches, but we're making something practical in the process. So again, we have our little instruction booklet, breaks it down once again for knit and crochet. So this is what the knit version looks like. Very similar, once again, to what you see for the crochet side. So that tells me that a lot of creativity went in the designing of these projects, because being bi-stitchable myself and being able to knit and crochet, it's not necessarily easy to come up with 2 patterns that look almost identical using knit and crochet. So this is really cool. The other thing I'm really excited about here, of course, is the yarn. I love these colors together. They're bright and they're fun, but my favorite part about this particular yarn is the tonal effect. See how it's kind of darker in some areas and really light, almost like a stonewashed kind of appearance. So that's cool. I really am drawn to that. This is a Premier brand yarn. I think we can both agree that those projects are really great. They're very diversified, so you're never going to be making the same thing more than once in a couple of months, as we can see here. It covers things from fashion to baby items to things that you can use in the kitchen. Just very practical and useful projects. I'm seeing that here with those first 3 that I've received, but I've also gone back to the website. They actually give you, as a member, the opportunity to rate each one of these kits. And so as I went through that webpage, I was able to see some of the other projects that are available, and you can do that as well. So you can get an idea of what types of projects you're going to receive. Now I know one question that's on your mind right now is, what's the skill level? As a beginner, you want to make sure that you're signing on for something that you can actually create. But if you're an intermediate or advanced crocheter, you definitely want to have something that might challenge you a little bit as well. So the patterns that come within the Hook and Needle Club, they range from beginner to advanced beginner. So these are going to be projects that are definitely doable for a beginner with some basic knowledge, but they're also going to be a little bit easier for somebody with more experience. But I think that really brings us back to those meditative and therapeutic benefits of our craft. We don't always need to be challenging ourselves to the max. Sometimes we just want to enjoy the stitches, and I think this kit club in particular is really great for that. For me, one of the biggest benefits that I saw with these first 3 kits that I received as a result of this review is that it takes a lot of the guesswork and the searching out of things. So like I said at the very beginning, one of the benefits for me of a service like this is it allows me to just get back to my craft, really enjoy the meditative and therapeutic properties, not have to think or worry about anything. I just know that the pattern is right there in front of me. It's been pattern tested, so I don't really have to question whether or not it's correct. I can just enjoy my craft. I can just work through the project, and that's a very therapeutic process for me. I also really like the diversity within the projects too. I'm definitely one of those people who I don't like to make the same thing more than once. Now I tend to stay away from socks and mittens and gloves and that sort of thing because I get what they call sock syndrome, and I love making the first one. I don't necessarily love making the second one. So long story short, I don't like to make the same thing more than once, and I know there are so many others out there who feel that way too. And if you're that person, I think you're going to enjoy this membership because the projects are very diverse. One day we're making some dishcloths. One month we're making a shawl. Another month we're making some home decor items. And for me, I love that diversity. Another really cool thing is that the yarn is specific to Annie's. It gives me the opportunity to use yarn that I wouldn't otherwise be able to use. Now, I will admit this was the first time that I had used any of Annie's yarn, and I'm loving it. I'm loving the different types of fibers that are included within these kits. It gives me the opportunity to try out different things and to play with different textures and different gauges and kind of learn all of those things along the way. Now, aside from being able to try a brand new yarn, I also think it's really cool to have all of the yarn that I need for one of those projects. So I do have to make that decision whether I'm going to knit it or crochet, because they give you the amount of yarn that you'll need to make one of those projects. But I have all the yarn right there in front of me. I don't have to worry about driving to the store, making sure I can find the right yarn in the right quantity. They've already done that for me, so I know that I have all the supplies that I need. And again, I can just sit down and enjoy the process. Now, I also kind of preach this a little bit here on my channel and on my website and my podcast. The best way to learn how to read a pattern is to just follow them over and over. And you know that these patterns are beginner and advanced beginner level, so they're always going to be something that you can create, that you can feel confident that you can make because they've been graded by professionals. And so when you receive a kit month after month and you make it a goal and a priority to work through the project in its entirety, then you're learning as a result of that process. So you're not only getting the benefits of the therapeuticness about working through a project and not having to worry about any of the other things that might come to mind, well, you also know that you can be learning throughout this process too, and that you're developing your skills, and that's a win-win, right? Now, there's something else that I found really cool on Annie's website as I was preparing for this review. They have a full stitch guide for knitting and for crochet, and let me tell you, this list is comprehensive. It's going to give you everything that you need to know. So if you're going through one of these patterns and you see a technique or a stitch or something that you're not familiar with, you can head over to their website, go into their stitch guide, find what you need, and then you're going to be presented with exactly how to do that thing. Now, not only will you find the instructions of how to do that technique, but you're also going to find an easy to follow video. So when you head over to annieskitclubs.com/BHooked, you'll be met with the page where you can sign up to receive your first kit. Now, the first kit is going to be 50% off, so you'll pay $9.99 plus $5.95 shipping and handling, or $6.95 if you're located in Canada. Now, I'm going to kind of spoil the surprise a little bit here, and actually it's no surprise. You can read about it on their website, but they're going to give you a free gift, their stitch guide, when you receive your first kit. Now, you should receive one of the 3 kits that we covered here, and I would love to hear your experience with those kits after you receive them. So you'll definitely want to head back to this review and just leave your comments in the comment section below. I'd love to read through it. Now, after that first initial month, that first payment of $9.99 plus your shipping and handling, then it's going to roll over to $19.99 per month. And this is an automatic membership. So once you sign up for it, it's going to have like a rolling subscription where it's going to charge your account every single month, and you're going to receive that kit automatically in the mail. So you don't have to do anything, you don't have to remember to order it or anything like that. Annie's takes care of all of that for you. So you'll just head over to annieskitclubs.com/BHooked, BHOOKED, to join now today. I appreciate you using that link once again, just letting Annie's know that you found their service, the Hook and Needle Club, through this review. I'm definitely grateful for you as well. Thank you so much for joining me in this episode of B.Hooked. I hope you're really excited about Annie's Hook and Needle Club. I know I was. This was a service that I wasn't familiar with, honestly, until they approached me about it, but I really like their unique approach in that it's not really a monthly kit that you receive, a monthly project that you receive every single month. It's something that's predetermined, and yet it's still a surprise. I also like the fact that these patterns, of course, you can't get anywhere else. So that is one of the benefits to signing up to their membership. And if you have any questions whatsoever, I do have these kits in hand. I have a really wonderful contact over at Annie's. If you have any questions whatsoever about the Hook and Needle Club, something that I didn't answer here today in the review, please leave that question in the comment section below. I'm right here behind the keyboard, and I'm here to help. If this is the right purchase for you, I definitely want to be the one to help you determine that. If maybe you're hung up on a question or some other type of concern, I'm definitely here to help, so please remember that. Now, you can also find a detailed post that has everything that we covered here in the tutorial. If you want to find the link to where you can order annieshookandneedleclub.com, where you can see some of those resources that we talked about earlier, just head over to bhookedcrochet.com/hookandneedle, all spelled out. And that's going to be where you can find all of this information, your purchasing information, and just a detailed list of everything that we covered here. Now, if you've been on the fence about the Hook and Needle Club from Annie's, you found this review as a result of maybe a question that you had, and this review helped to push you over the fence there, and now you know that this is the perfect membership for you, then you can go ahead and order through annieskitclubs.com/BHooked. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a real pleasure sharing this new service with you today. I hope you enjoy this review. Again, if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them in the comments section below, right here below the video, or you can head over to bhookedcrochet.com/hookandneedle. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have to help with this decision, if you want to make this or not. I know spending $20 plus your shipping and handling every single month, that's not something that I take lightly. It's not a decision I take lightly. I'm very choosy in how I spend my money, and I know you are too. So I'm here to help if you have any questions, and otherwise I will look forward to serving you in the next video. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Bella sneezed in the middle of that. Did you catch it?